Okay, before we get started, I'm just act like this is like IG live, like people are watching, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions. So, I'm sweating over here, like I was, I was trying to get everything prepared. I accidentally hung up on you. Anyways, let me give you an intro because I think you deserve one. I don't think.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So everybody, Nhandi The Producer, aka DJ Young One, a DJ for iHeartRadio, Real 92.3, appeared on America's Got Talent, of course, DJ'd inside the White House, a young ambassador for the Human Rights Campaign, um, graduated at 10 years old, Scratch Academy LA. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And yeah, and right now has an EP called Nhandi, Nhandi.
Mhm.
3 dope songs. I recommend it for sure. All platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. Go get it. Nhandi, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. That was such a fire ass intro. I'm over here forgetting about all the stuff I done did. I'm like, damn, I really did that.
Yo, all the stuff that you do, man, is so dope. And like, I had fun, like, kind of looking back at your history and researching on you. So
Thank
it
you.
was really cool. Yeah, no, for sure. Um, so yeah, 17 years old right now, just graduated high school.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How do you feel?
Well, I mean, it feels good to get up out of there. You know what I mean? It's like I've been, balancing like DJing and school for like for as long as I've been DJing, and I've been DJing ever since I was 8. So, I've been always like on the road and in the studio, and so it's finally good to just like now I can say, okay, I'm gonna completely focus on this. You know what I mean? So I don't have to um do so much balancing, and I don't have to bend my back to manage school and my social life and DJing and priorities and all the other stuff. So it's good to be out so I could hone in on everything I need to do as a DJ and producer. So it's very very how am I gonna say it? I feel like a lot of weight is lifted off my shoulders. So
For sure. Yeah, and all the things that you've done, like throughout your career, I did hear that you were interested in going to college. Are you still, is that still on your path?
oh yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people when they look at musicians, and I've been told this actually by plenty of people in the music industry, which I disagree with, but a lot of people are like, oh, like you're in music, you don't need to go to college, and I'm just like, well, you know, there was a time where like people who look like me couldn't go to college, you know what I mean, and I'm gonna take advantage of that, you know what I mean, and my mom is an educator. She's been an educator for 20 plus years, and my mom has 2 degrees. And I'm always gonna say that, as long as I'm, black, and you know what I mean, I'm gonna want to learn more, and I'm gonna want to be educated. And so, um, now college might not be happening right away. I'm not going to college currently, but I do know that I'm gonna go to college. Eventually. So right now I'm just taking a gap year because I need a break. Like from this, I need a break. So I'm gonna take a gap year, and then once I get the ball rolling and I have my stuff together, then I will go to college. Yes.
Gotcha. And shout out to your mom too. Like, I feel like I don't know her or I don't know her at all, but from what I see, like she's such a big support to you. Like like you said, like she has like 2 degrees helping you throughout your life, and as a celebrity DJ, that comes with a lot of baggage, and like, and it's, and she's your manager too. Like
Yeah.
that's a really big thing. So props to your mom.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. My mom has uh paved this way for me, and just in so many ways that a lot of people would never expect for her to do it in. And my mom had as much as I have a lot of balancing to do, or had a lot of balancing to do with school and work and music and all that stuff, like she had to do the same thing with her job because she used to be a principal making 6 figures. And she had to really sacrifice her passion for what I'm doing. because she sees so much greatness in what I do, and she believes in me so much as I do, if not more. And you know, that's what it takes. Is it takes sacrifice and stuff like that. So if it wasn't for my mom, I definitely wouldn't be able to amount to all the successes that I've had so far in my career. So
Yeah, definitely. For sure. That's a really big thing. Yeah, and you've done a whole bunch of stuff like at a young age. Speaking of your name, Young One, do you think that name will change in the future, or are you gonna keep that?
well, Young One has the name Young One is like I remember the day that I decided to have that name. Like I remember when I was going to Scratch Academy and you know everyone was just calling me Nandi. And you know I was so young, and even personally like outside of DJing, because my name alone Nandi, it has a lot of history. It's an Egyptian name. It's used to belong to a queen in Africa who was related to Shaka Zulu, which is like it's very originated, very like black originated. It has a lot of meaning behind it. And so even I was too young to even process what that meant. So you know what I mean? So when people were calling me Nandi, I was just like, doesn't I mean, I don't know, it just didn't, you know what I mean? Because people don't
Yeah.
think that. Like people see me DJing like, oh, she's young, she's like 9 years old, and you know, you don't really expect that. So when I was coming up with the name, you know, I was like, well, I'm like the youngest one at Scratch Academy. And then I was like, that's it, Young One, boom. Because I'm always going to be the youngest one to be in wherever situation I'm at, because, you know, you don't see too many young 9-year-old, 10-year-old DJs. So that's how I came up with it. But now, as I'm 17, going to be 18 in like 2 months, I am fading away from it because, you know, I can't be young for too long. So, um, you know, and every time people tell me this all the time, like, oh, are you going to change your name to DJ Old One? Like I get that all the time. No, I think I'm just going to stick to Nandi because like, you know, oh shit, there's a spider like right in front of my desk. Hold on 1 second.
No, take your time. Take your time.
Oh my God, hold up. Holy shit, where did this thing go? Oh, right in front of my desk. Hey, no, I got Nandi, get this spider. I don't know where to start using that. We barely have that.
This is awesome.
Oh my God, where did this thing go? Hold up, let me get this thing. Hold up, maybe I should. Oh my God, how am I gonna get this thing? Yo, this is like the most hysterical thing that's ever happened to me in an interview, dude. This is ridiculous.
Take your time. Take your time. That's
Maybe,
like one of my biggest fears too. So
maybe I should get it. Oh my God, maybe I should get it. Jeez, all right, it's over. It's gone.
Cool.
That was so terrifying. That thing, I literally saw it just like
Yeah.
like just chilling on my desk, like as if I wasn't even over here.
Yeah.
What
No.
was I talking about? I was talking about my name, right?
Yeah, you were talking about your name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully this could be edited out of the video because that was
That's
not
funny.
okay. That spider just messed up the whole flow of this interview. Okay, so
All good. It's all good.
no, but like I was saying, I like you know, I've as I'm getting older and I'm, you know, I'm starting to kind of step into adulthood, you know, now I'm really understanding like the meaning and the power that my name alone has, you know what I mean? Because now it's like I step into a room and people see something different other than just me being a DJ, because I'm a producer. You know, I advocate for LGBTQ plus rights. I do a whole bunch of other things outside of DJing. I think that's why I'm just sticking to my name, because my name is very uncommon, number one, but you know, it has some meaning to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just what I'm doing. So that's kind of just like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaving the young one thing. We're phasing out of that now. It had a good run, but yeah.
Got you. Yeah, you always seem like so busy online from what you put out, you know. And I didn't realize until now that when you said you do a lot more stuff besides producing and DJing, and advocating for the human rights stuff. What else do you do, to keep yourself sane, you know, and outside of the school and the DJing world?
Yeah, well, I mean, I love to cook. That I love to do. I think I'm a pretty decent cook. I think I'd give myself like an 8 out of 10 for cooking. But
Hey, okay.
um I like to cook. I love to read. I've been reading a lot ever since quarantine's been happening. I've been reading a lot more than usual, which is really good because you know, it's I mean, it's educational, but I just like to read. You know what I mean? I've always had I just love to read, and so I like to read and cook, and
Mhm.
I go on bike rides uh around the neighborhood, just around the local area. So I do stuff like that. You know, I try to keep up with friends, but that's pretty much what I do. I just eat,
Yeah,
cook, read, write. I like to write too. Um,
like songs.
no, just like poetry or sometimes I just journal how I'm feeling, or sometimes I just write about just what's going on in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do like to do that. I do like to do those three things. So
Awesome. What's your favorite dish to make right now?
favorite dish to make right now. I learned how to make this. I'm Greek, Black, and German, and I learned how to make this Greek dish. It's like Greek um Greek chicken tzatziki pita something. I don't know. It's a whole lot of, but
Uh-huh.
it's really fun to make. It's really good. It's like it's chicken. It has a lot of Greek chicken seasonings, and then you put it in pita, and then you put this sauce. You make the sauce, and you put the sauce on. It's so good. But yeah, I know how to make that. So
Dang, I
uh,
might have to get that recipe from you.
yeah, I take pride
Yeah,
in my Greek culture, even though I'm not fully Greek, but I do take pride in it. So
yeah,
yeah,
you got to. You got to.
yeah.
You that's good. Let's see. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you've done so much. Like being a young DJ, and you actually started on DJ Hero.
Yes, I did.
That's crazy. Do you still have the game?
You know, I wish I did, and I hate the fact that I don't because I don't know what happened to my Wii. I really don't know what happened to it. Like it literally, like I don't know what happened to it. Like I don't know if it was broken. I have no clue. But um, I wish I had DJ Hero. But I love that game so much. I would do anything to get that game back.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, but that's how I started though. I love playing DJ Hero.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful story. That is so crazy. Um, yeah. Do you still keep in touch with the artists from America's Got Talent?
No, I don't. The girl that I performed with, we
Yeah.
kind of just no. It was kind of a thing where like, um, she wanted to do something else in music, and I wanted to do something else in music, and respectfully, we just kind of parted because we just had two different passions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's doing her thing, and I'm doing my thing,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's pretty much that. So, but it's funny though, like how that pairing is what was the start of everything for me on America's Got Talent. But
Yeah.
yeah, we just kind of split ways because we just had two different callings in life, you know?
That happens. That happens for sure, especially in high school and school in
Yeah,
general. You
yeah,
know.
absolutely.
Um, yeah. You said you write and stuff, poetry and everything. Have you ever thought of rapping? I noticed that you had other rappers on your EP, which is dope. They sounded really good on there.
I don't think I would. No, I don't think I would consider rapping because I don't have that cadence for it, and I have a much different. I feel like I don't. I don't think so because even though I write, it's a lot more formal, and
Mm.
maybe I could I don't know, maybe I could write for people, but I've never really written songs. I've only wrote I mostly write like spoken word, even though rapping is spoken word, um or spoken, yeah, but it's no, I don't think that's for me. I just because I have a different ear for music because I've been in different positions in this music industry as a DJ and producer.
Mm.
So, DJs and producers have different ears and different perspectives um than, the consumer or the listener or the rapper or even an engineer. Like we just have a different ear. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's my cup of tea. But I love rap. I embrace it. Um, Old, new. That's just not my cup of tea to be a rapper though.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so what got you into producing? I know what got you into DJing. What got you in the producing world?
Well, it's funny because even before, like way before I started DJing, I always just had a thing for music. Like, you know what I mean? Like DJ Hero was what kind of it definitely did shine a light on, something that something that I have been interested in for a while with music in general. But before that, I was my mom had a friend actually who used to work for the Temptations, and she had a studio. And before, this is probably when I was like couldn't even, probably like in preschool or kindergarten. Like this is like a long time ago, and I would just go up in there and mess around with keyboards and the mixer board, and I would just mess around with a whole bunch of stuff. And I remember she had a Nakai MPC 60, and I used to mess around on that thing all the time and just and mess around with kicks and snares and hats and all these other effects. And um once I did that, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. But my mom knew I was going to be involved in music somehow. She just didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, um, I guess with producing, it kind of started just with, I will say, if it wasn't for DJing, I don't think I would be producing at all.
Mm.
Um, so, because DJing, like I said earlier, like you know, it, you're training with a different ear in music with DJing. DJs listen to music much differently than we do, or much differently than the people listening or people buying music. We just have a different ear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for that to kind of translate into producing is kind of what that led to. Eventually, when I was in my freshman year of high school, that's when I really started getting hands on with producing. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what started it. Really, it was just um the ongoing appreciation that I've had for music because of DJing and how that's just translated now to producing. It's kind of how it happened.
Yeah, for sure. What was the hardest uh, part you've learned? Like, what's the hardest thing you've learned as a producer?
Mm. I think the hardest thing I've learned as a producer is patience, really, because for me, I feel like producers and even DJs, like and just musicians in general, some of us can be such perfectionists. You know what I mean? Like everything has to be perfect right then and there. And if it's like one little mistake, we have to start all over again, and we can't. You know what I mean? And I feel like for me, I had to get in the habit of not doing that because um I'm very like I critique myself. I'm like my biggest critic. Like even with this EP before putting it out, like I would listen to it like 10 times and be like, "Oh, this shit is trash. Like what? I'm not going to put this out." But I had to keep finding I had to keep digging and finding what was right with me and what felt right. And what I did with this EP, that felt right. Like even when I listen to the songs now, I'm like, okay, I'm not judging myself, you know what I mean? And you just have to you just have to keep digging, like you can't be so critical of yourself to the point where it prevents you from being able to create.
Mm.
And I think that's what I had to learn. That was the hardest thing I had to learn. And it took years because when I first started producing, every single time I would leave the studio, I would be disappointed. I'd be like, oh, I made trash there. Like that's not even good enough. Like no one's gonna want to listen to that. Like that beat's trash or that melody's weird
Mm.
or it's too corny. Like I would be so hard on myself and I had to learn to just like not do that as much. You know what I mean? And just take it as growth and not something to like put myself down about. So I think that's like the hardest thing that I've learned. Um being a producer, that's the hardest thing I've learned.
That's a great answer. And I feel you on the creative process because like as DJs, maybe you're doing a battle or maybe you're producing a track, you could listen to the routine over and over.
Yeah.
And you could just be like, oh man, this sounds so repetitive. I don't even want to hear it anymore. You know, um, was there another song or two that was supposed to be on the EP that you never dropped?
Yes, they were quite there were a few actually, and they're not done, but the intention of those, yes, they were going to be on them, or they were going to be on the EP, yes. And either it didn't happen because of timing or it didn't happen because it sounds good. There's one thing I've learned is like there's some beats that I've made that sounds good alone, but it sounds weird when people rap on it. And
Mm.
there are some of those beats I have plenty of beats that is kind of what I feel like. It sounds great just listening to it alone, but once it's so different of a beat that you can't really hear anyone on it. So if someone's going to be on it, they would have to like I don't even know what the creative process is like, but those are the types of songs that like haven't been on my EP because it's like it's the fire beat, but it's just not, it just stands out by itself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I sometimes I have beats that I listen to that are just like direct pieces of evidence that like really show how much I've grown as a producer. So those beats have not made it to the cut on for the EP, but yeah.
Got you. Got you. Well, will you ever maybe on the path of thinking of doing like a DJ Khaled kind of album?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm starting to do now, you know what I mean? Cuz I have a different ear as a producer
Mm.
because of my DJing, and so, I think that is kind of what I want to do. Like I just want to keep producing, and I just like to be the person behind it and then give something to an artist and let them spaz on it and do whatever the hell they want to do. That's just kind of the role that I want to play as a producer. That's what I want to continue to do. So, yeah, I probably will do that. That's the goal, really. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing now. Like, me as a producer, I'm the producer and artist who happens to be a DJ, but I make the song and people jump on the song and uh they're creative, they add their whatever. So yeah, that is, yes, that is pretty much what I aspire to do.
That's so dope, man. I can't wait. Can't wait. Um, let's see. Um, so yeah, DJing was your start into producing. Um, what's the difference between DJing in front of a crowd and DJing performing at a radio station?
uh well, I will say performing in front of a crowd, you have that live effect, you have that live connection, with people. The people are making, there's thousands of people who are making eye contact to one person on stage, and that's you. And that is, to me, like like that is the craziest connection a human being can ever feel, is when you have so much people, and people do anything for it. I mean, it translates on social media. People do it on social media all the time. Everyone does stuff for likes and attention, so that when they do go out onto the world, people will be like, oh, you're this person who's doing the blah 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 blah. So with with being on a crowd, in a crowd, or having a crowd look at you, it's definitely like, it's one of the, honestly, I think it's one of the most freeing feelings in the world. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's so cool, like, to know that you're curating a sound and everyone is reciprocating that energy back to you because of the connection you have with those people. And I think that's so cool. There's a lot of outreach that happens there, and it's such an invigorating feeling. It's awesome. And that's why I love doing what I do. I like to move people and put smiles on people's faces, and I like to get people involved or get people um involved with, just music and you know what I mean. But DJing on a station, of course, it's not live, so there isn't that connection. But however, knowing that whenever I DJ, there are millions of people who are listening, is that is what blows my mind. You know what I mean? Because it honestly it's really scary sometimes when I DJ on the radio station. It's very scary. I've had my fair share of times when I've messed up on air, and it is like the scariest thing. Like, honestly, like it I don't even know. It's very scary. But it's definitely worth it though, because it's you still do have a connection with listeners across the world, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that I think that's kind of just the difference. It's just the live feeling and the fear of like messing up, because now everyone is really listening on the station, you know what I mean? People are not distracted when they're listening to the radio, you know what I mean? Like you be on the stage, you can mess up and no one will really care because you just have that energy, and it's just as long as there's music playing and then people, But if you're on the radio station and people are listening to you digitally in the car or on their phone and you mess up, that's so
Yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah, that'd be such a terrible feeling because you got to get it in one take, oh gosh, that's crazy. But I'm sure that helped you learn along the way as a DJ to practice and get it right, and that's a good learning process for sure.
Yeah, I would encourage like any DJ. I think any DJ that has radio experience, it's so beneficial, you know what I mean? Because it grooms you to be a better DJ. And it's cool because not only does it do that, but when you do perform in front of thousands of people, you're not tripping about it, you know what I mean? Because everyone has always asked me like, oh, were you nervous to perform in front of 30,000 people? And I'm like, no, not really. Because I've been groomed through the radio station for that. So I think any DJ who has radio experience, it is very beneficial. Absolutely.
Interesting. Wow, I didn't think about it that. You kind of took my question out of my mouth. Yeah. Yeah, like performing in front of crowds and stuff. I saw that video with you playing Bodak Yellow. I was like, yo, this is so dope.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool feeling to have everyone synced, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you were a great MC too, like
you again, but people, you get that from working at a radio station because you have to communicate with your listeners. So it's just all full circle, you know what I mean? That's working in the radio industry is so cool because there's so many different things that you can learn from it and apply it to different careers.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it's in your personality too. Like you grew up, it seems like you grew up not inverted, so not antisocial kind of thing. Because you were on America's Got Talent yelling and stuff. So that was pretty dope. So yeah, it was in your personality for sure, I think. But yeah, and I think that's a great tool too, because not many DJs can MC. I know a lot of DJs that are introverted. For sure.
Yeah, so, I could definitely be that type of DJ though sometimes. Like, I'm not even gonna front. Like, it just really just depends on where I'm at and the energy that I'm getting from the crowd. You know what I mean? Because sometimes there are moments, like as a DJ, I think people have to stop getting into the people have to stop assuming that like everywhere you DJ you gotta get on the mic. Like, that's not, you don't have to do that either. I don't do that. Every time I DJ, there's plenty of events where I am like, I am kind of like that introverted DJ, but sometimes it's just cool to let the music speak for itself. You know what I mean? Like your mixes are clean, they're tight, your transitions are cool. You might scratch, juggle, you might throw some tricks in there every handful of songs or something like that to keep the crowd engaged, and that's all you got to do. You know what I mean? But if you just let your music speak for itself, you don't have to be on the mic depending on the, you know, just the environment and the crowd, because there are events where like I don't get on the mic at all because it's just not that, it's just not that environment. But if I'm performing in front of thousands of people, I'm gonna want to engage. But if I'm performing maybe in front of a few hundred people, I'm not gonna really, you know what I mean? You just let the music speak for itself. But it depends. It's interchangeable. So.
Do you prefer small crowds or big crowds?
I'm always gonna go with big crowds. I'm always gonna go with big crowds because you have more options when you are performing in front of bigger crowds. When you're performing in front of smaller crowds, you know, people have more, I feel like it's more controlled. I feel like it's more control. Like I feel like it's more controlled in the sense that like people can come up to you and ask, "Oh, can you play this? Can I make this request? Or can you give a birthday shout out?" And that's cool, but it's like sometimes I don't like. Sometimes as a DJ, I'm an artist too, so I just want to let my music speak for itself. Like, you know, you go to a Coachella or you go to the EDC or just like a big festival. People aren't going up to the DJ booth asking them to play a certain song for them because they know that they can just let the music speak for itself and they're going to be satisfied. And I think that's the difference between small crowds and big crowds. And that's why I prefer bigger crowds, because with bigger crowds, I have more control. Like I have more control of what's going to be played, and people are going to enjoy it regardless, because that's just the environment that it is. You know, anytime you're in a group, you're surrounding yourself with like thousands of people. You know, people are going to be moving, you know what I mean? And when you're in a smaller crowd, people have more control over, oh, well, can you play this song? So I'm always going to stick with bigger crowds. And then too, the energy is just, it's quite ironic. I think I have more personal connection with bigger crowds than I do with smaller crowds. And I don't know why that is, but I think that's just what I've found out in my experience. Like I have much more personal connection and spiritual connection with large masses of people compared to just like a few hundred people at a club or something. That's just.
Wow. Interesting. That's very interesting. I like that. Yeah. And so like you're 17 now. For sure you're going to be 21, being at age of clubs and bars. Do you see that in your future?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't have a problem with doing, I would love to do like residencies and, you know, club residencies. And I mean, I do think that's cool. Like I said, like, I think there is a balance between, you know, on the road performing in front of like tens of thousands of people and then performing in front of like a few hundred people at a club. You know what I mean? Like there's both, you know, doing both is very, very fun. I love to do both. But I would need that balance though, for sure. Like I would definitely need that balance of like, okay, I can't be performing in front of thousands of people every single place, everywhere I go. Like I would want to have a balance and go to a club or have a residency or something like that, where it's a little more private or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much. I would DJ in clubs. I would totally do that.
Got you. Dope. So yeah, you DJ'd a number of crowds, a number of parties. How do you keep composed when you're in front of Will Smith, Jada Smith, Obama? like what's your method? Like what do you do?
I just, you know what? I feel like, you know, it's funny because I think that is kind of like, I think that's what's interesting because, you know, I started DJing very young. And
Mm.
so because of that, I was kind of just thrown into this industry, not knowing that I was going to meet so many people. You know what I mean? I think the only person that I've ever lost composure, I lost composure of one person that I've met. And it's probably going to remain like this for like the rest of my career. But the one person that I could not keep myself together around was Kaylani. And when I met Kaylani, I lost it. Like, I was crying. I was like, oh my God. I was freaking out. But when I met the president, I was chilling. I was just like, yo, like, this is the first Black president of the country. Like, damn, like, this is crazy. But then again, like, going back to what I was saying earlier, like, you know, I started out when I was very, very young. And so because of that, I wasn't aware of, like, I just didn't know that that's what happened. Like, I didn't know that, you know, you just met everyone. Like, you just meet people.
Yeah, it was like normal to you.
Yeah, so when I did meet the president, like, especially, you know, given the fact that, like, um, given the fact that America's Got Talent was like my first, that was like my first, like, it literally, like, I was thrown into that kind of current because America's Got Talent, I mean, that's huge. And that was my first, like, thing. Like, the only thing I've done, I think the only events I've done before America's Got Talent was, like, my 4th grade talent show in school. And, like, my pride event, I did, my pride events, I did the pride events in Oakland. And that's about it. And I think I might have done some school events, like, for like 20 kids, you know, but that's nothing. That's nothing. Like, everyone performs in front of it, you know, everyone performs at a talent show. So it's not really, it didn't really hit me until, like, once I started DJing at the radio station, and then we started doing events through the radio station, then they had artists who were performing, then I was like, oh, this is really, wow, okay. So now people are just like, I'm looking at DJ Mustard over there, like he's just standing over there, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think I hold my composure just by, they're just regular, they're just normal, they're just other people, you know? They're people. I think people have to stop treating celebrities like they're not human, like they're like some sort of, I don't even know, like, people just, I don't,
alien, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, they eat, drink, and sleep just like we do. They're not any different from us. They just have a different career path, and they just they just have a way of connecting with thousands of people by doing what they love. And not many people get that opportunity because people in the entertainment industry who make it, there's like a 1% of people who make it. You know what I mean? And there are more consumers and listeners than there are performers and singers and dancers. You know what I mean? There's probably, I mean, it's a very small fraction, you know what I mean? So I think that's why people freak out. But I just I just be myself around them. But I didn't freak out around Will Smith or Jada or anyone. I just was being myself, you know? And I think that's all celebrities. I think sometimes that's all they ask of people. Like, just be cool. Like, you don't have to treat me, because I've been in situations where people have seen me, and people treat me like I'm like, I don't even know. And I'm just like, you know, you could take a picture with me. Like, you don't have to like treat me like some statue. I don't know. Like, I just, it's I've been in those shoes before. It's weird.
Yeah.
But,
I feel like you're one of those people, because you are a celebrity DJ and everything. But when I talk to you, you know, you're like someone I could share, I don't know, my life story with, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah,
And that's pretty dope.
I'm a good person, you know?
Yeah, you're a cool person. But I remember you said you would lose your composure if you met Drake. Would you still lose your composure?
You know what? I might have to retract that. I might have to retract that statement, actually. I might have to retract that statement, because when I said that, I think I said that in an LA Times article. That's when I said that. And at the time I was being interviewed at the station. At the time I might have been in middle school. Yes, I was still in middle school when that article came out. And that's when I said in that article, I was just like, yeah, I was asked the same question. Who would you lose your mind to? Who would you lose your mind to if you met them?
Yeah.
And I was like, Drake. But here's what's funny, because literally within like the following year, I literally literally within the fall, actually not even within the following year, a couple months after that article had gone out, I was at this concert through the radio station, and Drake was performing there. And I literally saw Drake, like I was standing here and I literally saw him with his entourage like just pass beside me, like literally pass in front of me. I saw him right there. And I was just like, oh, that's Drake? Okay. So I might have to retract that statement. I mean, now of course, if Drake walked in my room right now, I was like, "Yo, I want to hop on the beats that you made," then I would be like, "Oh, what? Like you're lying? No way!" But I don't think I would lose my composure like I did. I would never lose my composure to someone like I did with Kehlani, because like that is just uncomparable.
Mm-hmm.
When I met Kehlani, I lost it. I was literally fangirling over her. Like it was actually it's pretty embarrassing now that I think about it. But
no.
Yeah. So
I'm sure she thought it was admiring, for sure. Yeah, what's the hardest thing that you had to overcome as a DJ or as a celebrity DJ?
Hardest thing I've had to overcome as a celebrity DJ. You know what's weird? I don't think I could really. Hardest thing I've ever had to overcome as a celebrity DJ. I think the hardest thing I've had to overcome might be. I can't think of it. That's crazy. I cannot think of the hardest thing I've had to overcome. Oh wait, I guess the hardest thing I've had to overcome is like, just keeping the connection, like keeping the crowd constantly engaged. You know what I mean? Because I've had moments in my career where like I've performed and I'm at a good constant like engagement with the crowd, and then I play a song and then I lose them. That is like the most and I'm sure you could probably say the same, but that's like the most. It sucks. Like when that happens, that it sucks. Like especially when you build this great momentum with a crowd of people, and then you play a song that you think is gonna like rock everyone. Mm-hmm. You drop it and then it's like dead. Like that is like the most terrifying thing. That is like I think that's the biggest thing I've had to overcome as a DJ. It's just like really saying, okay, how am I gonna plot this? How am I gonna plan or play this? Like when is the right time to play this song? Or how should I what should I do leading up to it? That's like the hardest thing. But it's not even that hard. But that is the hardest thing out of being a DJ as a whole that I've had to learn and overcome.
Yeah, definitely. You got to take risks sometimes, Absolutely. You never learn if you don't. Yeah, what's your intake on bouncing back from that?
Well, bouncing back from that is always good to, what's a lifesaver? Playing throwbacks. That's always a lifesaver. Like you could be anywhere, and you could be playing any genre, and you put on like a Biggie Smalls or a Tupac or like Return of the Mac or something like that. Like you play any one of those banger throwbacks, and it's a life. Every single crowd, it works on everybody. Maybe not everybody though. It really does depend sometimes. But you just have to I think the intake I've gotten from it is just playing throwbacks, because I do have to be very strategic in how I play my music. And I think the one thing I will never understand is, and maybe it's just me, and I don't shame other DJs for doing this, because DJs, what's brilliant about us is that we're so diverse and we're so versatile. DJs shouldn't aren't and should not be the same. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I've never in my life, ever in my career, I've never gone into a career unless it was requested of me to do so. I've never gone into an event with a planned like crate or playlist. I've never done that in my career because that takes away the beauty of being a DJ. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to go show up, play a song, and you're supposed to figure out, okay, what does this crowd like? You know what I mean? You kind of have to you have to test the water, put your foot and test the water before you kind of decide how you're gonna perform. And I've never done that. Like I've never had a prepared playlist.
Wow.
So I've always gone in because that's the thing. Like you're supposed to do it right then and there. You know what I mean? So if I do want to play a song, I literally just go in my library. Okay, let me type this one up. I have and that's the beauty of DJing. Also helps you develop like just an amazing musicology. Really, it really helps with that. Like, it makes you do a lot more crate digging, and it really just opens your mind, just in a more broad manner, because you're exposed to so many different crowds, so many different people, and with that, you're learning. Okay, well, oh, cool. So this is this song, and this is this type of music. Well, let me explore this. You know what I mean? So it's just yeah, that's kind of my intake. Is just
Yeah.
not going in like it's good to go in prepared, but it's never good as a DJ because it takes the purpose out of it to go in. I'm gonna play this song at this time, and then afterwards I'm gonna do a transition and do da 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 da.
Right.
It's always good to just do it live because that's just what the energy is about. You know what I mean? You have live energy with that crowd. That crowd might not like what you have prepared, and as being a DJ, we all know this. DJs who play what they want to hear are the worst DJs. You're not supposed to play what you want to hear. You know what I mean? Unless you can only do that once you establish a connection with a crowd. And that's why, going back to my point earlier, that's why I like to perform in front of big crowds. Because with big crowds, you have that connection. And because of that, you have more control. Once you establish that connection with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. One thing I'm scared about for sure is like playing for crowds. Like time moves on, and I love 90s. I love old school hip hop. I'm kind of nervous on where music is gonna go with these newer, 21-year-olds, newer generation, because we're gonna play like this is how we do it, and they're gonna be like, what is this? It's kind of like up to us to keep the culture and push it forward still, and let them know what good music still is.
Absolutely. No, I agree. And it's crazy because when you think about like hip hop originated in 1970.
Yeah.
So in 1970 in New York, and with the Sugar Hill Gang, that's when it started. And you look at 1970, we're in 2020, and it's been what, almost
Like 30,
50 years.
50,
1970.
yeah.
It's been 50 years. So that's a long time. 50 years of hip hop is a long time. When we look at 90s music, that was 30 years ago. So, people are you still have like your J. Cole's, you still have, well, rest in peace, Mac Miller. You have your Kendricks. You have even your, who else? Who else is like, ooh.
You kind of
I mean, that's the point. I mean, it's self-evident right there. Like, that's all you can think of, you know what I mean? But it is important to keep pushing, like, like the originality of hip hop, because that's where everyone is grabbing a stuff from. Everyone's grabbing their inspiration from the origins of hip hop, which people don't even know they're doing because they do it subconsciously, because that's what hip hop is, because hip hop, that's how it exists. Like, it's constantly reinventing itself, constantly rebranding itself, constantly evolving into something that might attract a different crowd. And that's the beauty of hip hop. in the hip hop culture. And you know, I think it's definitely imperative that we keep that alive. Absolutely.
Yeah. Shout out to TikTok too, you know, like I see a couple of 90s songs in there. Like,
Yeah, they use it for trends. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's a good way to, you know, keep it rolling. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Hip hop always reinvents itself for sure. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Um, have you heard of Camp Spinoff at all?
Camp spinoff. Yes.
Yeah, I think I met DJ Hoppa there. He was one of the counselors.
I
He
was my teacher at Scratch.
Oh, for real? Okay, okay. Yeah, that's I was like, oh, I know she might know him. So
Yeah.
yeah, anyways, it's a camp in Ojai, California. I think it's up north. And I went there for 2 years. It's for students 18 years and younger.
Hmm.
So they go to learn about DJing. And it's run by DJ Tina T. Yeah, she's a really dope DJ, and I feel like you would be a great appearance, like a great influencer for those people, because it's a group of kids, just uh, boys and girls that just love the craft, and it's like a camp. It's an actual camp that you stay for a week, and you learn scratching, you learn producing, and you learn mixing,
Hmm.
and it's a collective of influential DJs. I know A Track was there and stuff, but um,
Wow.
yeah, it would have been dope to see you when I was going at that time. It would be dope to see you
Oh,
perform.
thanks. Well, I
Yeah,
might do my research and one of these days I might hit up Papa and ask him about that. I mean, because I know now. I mean, considering what's going on, it probably won't, you know, stuff like that won't happen for a little bit. But I always like to go back, like even now, like I like to go back to Scratch Academy and
teach.
yeah, I've done that before. Like well, because when I went to Scratch Academy, which was like, let's see, how old am I? I'm gonna be 18. I started there when I was like 8. So wow, it's almost been like 10 years. That's crazy. It's been like 9 or 10 years. And when I started, there weren't any. There were, well, first of all, there were barely any female DJs there. Sure, they sure as hell weren't uh my
Nice.
age. So like when I walked up in there, everyone was just like, who is this? I was literally the only person. I was not like, there was no other kids there. It was just me and like these grown men in their mid 20s
Yeah,
how to DJ. And when I graduated, I came back, and within a year, there was just like there were so many kids that attend there now, and they even have their own program for kids. So it's so cool to see. Like, what I like about the program though is that literally they don't teach. It's not like they don't the way that they teach kids in the scratching courses and just in the DJing courses, they're no different than how they teach adults. Um,
no,
it's really just for sake of like being around other kids. I mean, but they yeah, they don't teach them any different. They give them the same exact thing that they teach the adults, because that's the art of DJing. You know what I mean? Um you can't sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? And the tradition of DJing forever will live at Scratch Academy, because they pass along everything that you need to know. They make sure that everyone who goes there is well equipped. And if it wasn't for Scratch, I wouldn't be like they show you how to troubleshoot. They show you how to change your needle. They show you how, like, they show you everything.
mhm.
So, um, yeah, I even when I go back to Scratch, I see kids who were my age when I started, who were like 10, 11, uh, and they're younger, and I go over there and most of them know who I am. So sometimes I go back over there and I just be like, oh hey, like, or try this, or whatever. So it's really cool to do that. I like to get involved with kids. So
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Scratch, man. Scratch Academy. I think they have it in New York too.
Yep.
They're growing. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Jam Master Jay. Yeah, all those people, man. That's dope. But yeah, who's your favorite scratcher?
My favorite scratcher would have to be. I have a few. I have a few. I like Scratch Bastard. I
Oh yeah.
like Shortcut. Cubert's a no-brainer. I like actually he works at the radio station with me. Shout out to
You?
Fuse. Yeah. Fuse is he works at the radio station with me. Shout out to the homie Fuse. He's dope. Another person who used to work with the radios he's not there anymore. But he's actually on the oh shoot. He is on Hollywood Unlocked. DJ Damage. Damage taught me. I remember like we would be because I used to have my slot at the radio station. It used to be Fridays. I would be there Fridays and Saturdays. Fridays from like at 5, and then Saturdays at 2, or at 1 o'clock. And I would go to the radio station, and then by the time my slot was finished, Damage would always be coming in because he was the next one to DJ, but there would be like a 2-hour slot before he got on. So in that 2-hour slot, while he was like broadcasting or teasing new songs, like just on rotation, like him and I would just be in the DJ's the booth, just like scratching and practicing, and he showed me how to craft scratch. Like Damage was like teaching me some stuff actually. So yeah, so Damage, Scratch Bastard, Cubert, Fuse, Mo Beats is a good one. He's Big Sean's DJ, and he knows how to scratch really good. But yeah, once I start watching scratch videos on my Instagram, I just get so looped. I can't. I get so sucked into it.
Yeah, definitely. I could see why those people are your top 5 because like you said, like precision is key, you know, in your scratches, and I could see it for sure. Like you could go at any tempo and kill it. It's kind of dope to see. Like, do you have a preference on BPM?
I'd say like I'd say like 80, like 85 to like it really depends. Sometimes I like to scratch to like boom bap, but then sometimes I like to scratch to like those weird techno beats that you literally like you only use them just to perfect that one scratch.
Yeah.
One technique. So I like to listen. I like to listen to like to Cubert's beats. Like his beats are like they really do help me with like making sure that my techniques are very sharp and clean. But I like to listen to I also like to scratch to what's that DJ's name? Practice Your Cuts.
Oh.
I don't know his name. I don't know. I forgot the guy's name who created Practice Your Cuts.
Yeah, same. 1 second.
But yeah, I forgot who it was. DJ. Oh my god, I have the scratch. I literally have the scratch. I have the Table Beats app on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the Table Beats app? It's great. Richie Roughtone.
Richie. Oh, that's his name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Richie Roughtone. I see it. Yep. Practice Your Cuts.
Yeah, I have mine.
Hey.
Yeah, I love to practice scratching. Like I can do that all day. The one thing I do need to get though, I want to get those portable. I want to get the portable turntable with like a Raiden fader and just go at it. I want to do that so badly.
Yeah, it's pretty useful, you know, for portable stuff. Like if you want to go in a car, you know, like drive through, you know, or like at a picnic table.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. What's your favorite scratch though?
My favorite scratch would be I think I like double and triple clicks. double and triple clicks, and I like chirp flares.
Yeah.
And transformers. Well, that's not a fit. Well, I mean, I just went down the whole list, but I think I love double clicks. I like double and triple clicking. Like that is like I could do that for hours.
Yeah.
Crowd scratching is cool. Because it's easy. Like I think the thing with crowd scratching is like someone could literally crowd scratch for like 20 minutes and it sounds like they're doing so much, but all they're doing is this. That's the beauty of crowd scratching because I pay attention to that. Like I'm looking at DJs and they think that they are they think that they are up there better than Cuber, and I'm like, all you're doing is crowd scratching. Like you're not. There's no combos. You're not switching it up. You're just like that's all you're doing. Yep. And I don't. They think that they're like
the best.
Like, they think they're better than Cuber, and I'm like, no, you're not.
No.
It's the same technique. No combos, nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that all the time. People are like, yo, I've never seen that before. You're using.
I do that all the time too. Even when I crowd scratch for like 2 seconds, and people are like, yo, that was fire, and I'm like, I'm not even really doing nothing. Like I'm just, it's anyone can do that. Like you can literally, I could teach my mom to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it's pretty cool. But I think my top favorite is probably double click. I love the double click.
Double click, yeah. Does your mom know how to DJ? Like, has she gotten into that?
She does not know how to DJ. She knows how to. She knows it's fun. She knows how to like take my equipment off, or she knows just setting up equipment and setting up and breaking down my equipment. She knows how to do that. But like she knows about like how to take care of my needles. She knows that, about the slip mats and the vinyl that they go, you don't put the vinyl next to each other because you don't want to scratch. Like she knows all that.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But she doesn't know how to DJ. No, she does not know how to DJ.
Got you. Man, I wish we could have scratched it up. Like, maybe we will in the future. I'll like.
You could just let me know. Whenever you want to go on Instagram Live, and we can just do it there. And then I don't know. I could do it now. I have my laptop set up I have my equipment on because I thought that's what we were gonna do anyway. So my equipment's on.
Oh, got you. Yeah. I don't know how it'll transfer the sound through Zoom. So let's see.
I think actually it's funny because I just got an Amazon package, and I think this might just be the cord that I ordered for what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Dang.
Yeah, I think this might be it. I don't know. I have to see.
All right. Well, okay. I'll tell you this. Let's see. We'll scratch it up for the last couple minutes of the interview. And then we'll just end it off there.
Yep, this is it.
Hey.
Funny how the reverse works, right?
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Here, it just came in.
Wow. All right, we might just have to do that then.
Oh, this is sweet. Hold up. Wait a minute. Oh no, did he send me the wrong one? He did send me the wrong one. That sucks.
It's all good. If anything, we could do it just like, through this speaker.
Oh, actually, no, because I have an adapter. This is what I love. This, what's cool about DJing, and I'm sure you could say the same. DJs, it pigeonholes us to become so tech savvy.
Yeah.
Like I know how to do so many things on computers. Like I'm like a tech geek, and it's because I'm a DJ, because of like Serato and software, and you got to troubleshoot with wires and connections and all. Like it's crazy. So I can make this work because I have an adapter. I have a USB-C adapter, and I can plug that in, and then I can get a direct audio feed from my mixer into here. Boom. Okay, was that better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can go, and then I'll go afterwards.
Okay, got you. Yo, this is dope. Okay. All right, let's go. All right, ready? Oh, sure. I'll go for it.
Dope. All right, here we go.
What?
Hey. Woo, that was clean. Dope.
Goddamn. Okay.
That was heat. That was heat. Okay, let me try to find a different.
Hey, what the? And everybody, let's go.
Let's go. Nhandi the producer. Okay.
Nice. Nice. Hold up.
Woo! How do you? That was. How do you do that one? It's like a. Oh man. Gosh, you were doing it.
Talking about hold on. You must be talking about let me take the echo off. That?
No. Or it could be, but it's faster. It's like really fast. Yeah. Is that what that is?
That's the this is the double click that I love to do.
Double click.
Well, it's a combination. It starts from this. It's
Just a flare. Oh, that's so dope. Yo.
yeah, that so that comes from so that's the clicking that I think that's what the double click is.
Got you. Man.
Yeah.
That's dope. Okay. We'll do one more round and then we'll end it off of you, all right?
Cool.
Cool. All right, let's do it.
Ready to make an entrance. So back. Good.
Props for props is due. Thank you so much for doing that with me. That was amazing.
Nah, that was dope. You know what? This is like I haven't had a scratching anything, bro, ever since like NAMM, and that was in like January.
Yeah.
So, you know, have you been to NAMM?
I wanted to this year, but I didn't get a chance to.
Oh no. Well, it was really, really cool. Next time you get the chance, or I mean next year, you definitely should come out. It's so worth it. It's so cool. And like Pioneer has like they have they have like this this DJ booth, and well basically they have like this whole section, and it's like they have a table where DJs can go and take turns scratching, like doing what we just did pretty much. Yeah, I haven't done that ever since then, so it was good to do it. Even though it was on Zoom, it was hella worth it. So
thank you so much. Yo, I'm gonna end it right here. You're like the number one DJ that I look up to right now. Like,
no, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Like you push the culture forward, and you do it in such a way that you're your own person, and it's just so good to see, like, when you smile, like it just feels so pure and like you mean it, you know. So I know you mean well, and like everybody get Nandi's EP right now, Nhandi. 3 dope songs, all on all platforms. Please do
All
it.
platforms.
I appreciate you coming on. This is like a blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for like you said, just as much as I try to push the culture forward. This is this isn't a one woman, I should say. This is a one woman job. You know what I mean? Like, it requires all of us to push the culture forward, and that's what you're doing. So I appreciate you even having me on here, just to be able to have the opportunity to do that even more. So props.
Much love, DJ Young One. Appreciate you. I'll catch up with you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Stay safe.
You too.
And
Cool.
congrats. I'll see you later.
All right, peace. Blessings.